Welcome back, students. Today we'll continue the chapter Fiber to Fabric, which is chapter number 3 of class 7th. Wool from other animals. The wool commonly available in the market is the sheep wool, but the fleece of the sheep is not the only source of the wool. In addition to sheep, wool also obtained from some other animals. They are goat, Angora rabbit, yak, camels, llama, and alpaca. So these are the various animals we can get the wool other than the sheep. Let us learn about each of them one by one. Goat. As we know that wool is also obtained from the goat hair, and the underfur or the wool of the Kashmir goat is worn, and this Kashmir goat's wool is woven into the fine shawl, and the shawl name is the Pashmina shawl. Another type of wool is the Angora wool, and it is formed from the Angora goat. We get this Angora wool from the Angora goats, and this wool from the Angora goats is also called as the mohair, and both of the goats are found in the region of Jammu and Kashmir. Angora rabbits. Like Angora goats, we have Angora rabbits. It is also found in the hilly region of India, and they gives us one of the very fine quality wool. Here you can see this Angora rabbit. It is huge in size than the normal rabbit, and here is a fur which is obtained from this Angora rabbits. Yak. The wool from yak is brown or as well as black in color, and this yak is found in the region of Tibet and Ladakh. So here is a picture of wool obtained from the yak. Now let us talk about camels. So the fur on the body of the camel is also used as a wool, and here is a special variety of camel, that is a Bactrian camel. This camel is found in Siberia, Mongolia and China. These camels give the best quality of the camel wool. Now llama and alpaca. Again, both llama and alpaca belongs to the camel family, and it is a native of South America. They are also have soft, lightweight and fine undercoat hair. Now let us talk about silk. Silk is also called as the queen of fibers, right? Then silk is an animal fiber obtained from the cocoon of the silkworm, and the fibers of the silk are soft, lustrous, and therefore they are the costliest fiber. Silk does not conduct heat, and it is considered as a good insulator, and this silk is used in the winter as well as the summer. In winter it keeps the person warm, and in summer it keeps the person cool. Some features of silk are as follows. Silk is the strongest natural fiber. Silk was first discovered in China, and India is the second largest producer of the silk after China. Now let us talk about varieties of silk. The best quality silk is obtained from cocoon of silk moth, that is called Bombyx mori. Its caterpillar feed on the leaves of mulberry leaves, and this variety is mostly found in China and mountains of North India. Next, the wild silk is called the tussar silk. It is obtained from the silk moth that feeds on the leaf of oak tree, and this oak tree is widely grown in the region of India as well as the China. And the munga silk is obtained from another variety of silk moth which is found in the region of Brahmaputra Valley of India. Now let us talk about life cycle of silk moth. So here is a male silk moth and female silk moth. They breed, and the female silk moth produces hundreds of eggs over the leaf of mulberry leaves. When this egg hatched, the larva came out of the egg, which is called the caterpillars or silkworm. This silkworm and caterpillars are fed on the mulberry leaves and grow in size. Once they grow in size, they are ready to enter on the next stage. The next stage is called the pupal stage. Once it enters the pupal stage, it stops feeding and its salivary gland secretes a fiber around the pupa and form the cocoon. This fiber is made of a protein called fibroin, which hardens on the exposure to air and forms a cover around the pupa. The cover around the pupa are called cocoon. The pupa grow inside this cocoon. Few weeks later, the cocoon opens and the adult moth flies out. It takes about 7 days or a week to spin a cocoon, and the cocoon is formed of a single continuous thread. It is about 1.5 km long or 1500 meter. Sericulture. The breeding and management of silkworm for the production of silk is known as sericulture. It involves the following steps. The egg of a silk moth are stored on a strip of a cloth or a paper, and then they are sold to the silkworm farmers, and the farmers keep the egg under a hygienic condition. And this under containing the hygienic condition, this egg hatches and larva from the egg came out. After hatching, the silkworm are fed onto the freshly chopped mulberry leaves. Once they fed on the mulberry leaves, they grow in size and they start spinning the cocoon around it, and this process is take about 8 days. Now this fully grown cocoon are then sorted depending upon their size, color, shape and texture. This cocoon are now immersed in the boiling water or exposed to the steam which kills the insect inside the cocoon, and the cocoon is then put through a series of hot and cold immersion. This process is called softening the sericin. The sericin is a gummy substance that holds the two strands of fibroin protein of a silk of a fiber. Then next, the process, it is called the unwinding of the silk filament from the cocoon. This process is called reeling the filament. After reeling the filament, many filaments are reeled together to produce desired yarns, and this process is called throwing. Now, the silk fibers can be opted for dyeing. Here are the picture of various colors of the dyed silk. Then the silk fiber are then spun into the silk yarn, and which is used to weave the silk cloth. So here is a varieties of various silk cloth. Then occupational hazards of silk industries. Workers of silk manufacturing industry are affected by respiratory diseases like asthma, as they inhale the vapors at the time of the boiling, steaming and reeling of the cocoon. Workers may develop the infectious disease like scabies because of the continuous dipping hand in a boiling water while killing the pupae. Then, standing continuously for a long interval of time leads to the health problem of the backaches, and spine problems. So children, that's it for the day. So we have finished our chapter, that is fiber to fabric. I'll meet you in another video. Till then, take care and goodbye.